Class will be starting in tutorial 3, looking at maintaining and querying a database. So in tutorial 3.1, we're going to be looking at trying to find, modify, and delete records in a table. We're going to look at the hide and unhide fields. We're going to work in the query window in Design View. We're going to create, run, and save queries. We're going to sort data, filter data, and things of that nature. So you will need the Chatham database that we have been previously working on. You should have the following objects that I currently have, which are the billing, patient, and visit tables. You should have the visit list query. You should have the visit data form, and also the visit details report. On page 118, it goes into updating and maintaining your database. And in modifying records, it gives you the F2 key on your keyboard will allow you to toggle between your navigation mode and your editing mode. And in Figure 3.1, it kind of goes over some of the editing mode shortcut keys. Sorry. Your arrows to the left and to the right gives you those, home and up and down. Control Enter or Control Home, Control End. So on page 119, we're going to open our database, and then we're going to open our patient table. And again, this is in Datasheet view. So we're going to look at the hide fields command, which allows you to remove the display of one or more fields, and then the unhide, which allows them to redisplay any hidden fields. So we're going to right-click on Workspace. Alright, we're going to select Hide Fields. Okay. Next, we're going to right-click on Phone, and we're going to select Hide Fields. Okay, so the information is still there, we just have it hidden. Alright, so we're going to drag our scroll bar down to the last record, over here to your right. Alright, so we're going to click in patient ID 55260, which is Patrice Willis. Alright, and we're going to tab over to the last name. So basically what we want to do is we're going to change the address. So it's going to be 83 Highland Street. Okay, and then we're going to tab over to the email address, and we're going to change it to twonorth5@example.org. Alright, and then we're going to do Control Home on your keyboard. And that takes us up to the very first record. Now we're going to right-click in any field name. So if we just take last name, we're going to select Unhide Field. And what it will do is bring up this dialog box to show you the ones that have a check mark are the ones that are currently displayed. Those that don't have check marks are currently being hidden. So you can select for those to be shown. So if we select date of birth and phone, we're going to select Close. Alright, so we're going to correct the record for the visit table. So we're going to select to close. Here when it asks if we want to save, we're just going to select no. So we didn't save any information that we changed here. So next we're going to open up the visit ID table, or visit table, excuse me. And from here, we want to start on to 1635. So again, they're in order. So 1635 here. Alright, and then we're going to go over to the visit field. And what we're going to do is we're going to take out the current region, which is a COPD management visit, and we're going to type in influenza. Alright. Okay. Next, we're going to look at, so basically you can edit any of those fields. So next we're going to look at finding data in a table. So we're going to use the find command, which allows you to search a table or query data sheet or form and locate the specific field value that you're searching for. So again, we are still in the visit table. All right, so what we want to do is we're going to make sure that the visit ID field 1638 is selected. All right, we're going to make sure we're on the home tab, on the home ribbon, so here. And then under the find group, so if you're on the home ribbon, over to your right is the find group, and we're going to select find. This will bring up a dialog box where we can put in specific information. So we're going to type in 1638. Okay. Now these are important. So current field, whole field, and search all. Okay. So in our box here, we're going to type in 16. We're going to change it to 1688, and then we're going to have it on the current field and the whole field. So we're going to select next, and then it brings us down to 1688 for that specific record. Okay? Now, one thing you should note, if you remember previously what we had done is we created relationships between the tables. Okay? This plus sign that is here indicates that relationship. So if you select the plus sign, you can see that based on visits, we have your billing information here, okay? So anytime you see a plus sign in a table, it means that it is joined to another table, so there's additional information there, okay? So in the billing table subsheet here, the 36087, what we want to do is we're going to select delete. So here, under our contextual tabs under fields, so we're going to select delete, and then it's going to ask us if you're sure, we're going to say yes. Okay? So then we're going to minimize. So now we've gotten rid of that specific record. So once tables are joined, if there's information that you need to delete, it can delete it from other tables that it is joined to. Okay? Now you cannot go in and delete a record in a table if it has something joined to it without deleting that record that's joined to it first. Now we're going to select 1688. And we're going to select delete. And then it's going to ask us if we're sure, and we're going to say yes. So now we no longer have 1688. Okay, so the example that I was referring to, so if we select here, so we have a plus sign. If I right click here and I say delete record, it tells you that it cannot be deleted or changed because the billing includes related records. So this basically means because there are additional fields that are or additional records that are related to this, you have to delete those first before you can delete this record. And that's what we just did for the 1688. All right, so we're going to close. Now we're going to look at queries. So we're going to look at queries in design view. All right. So on your create ribbon, we're going to select query design. So previously what we had used when we created a query was a wizard. Now we're going to select query design. So at this point it wants to know what tables we're going to use. So we are going to use the patient table. We're going to close. So basically from this table we're only pulling information from one specific table. So now we're going to look at creating and running the query. So the way that this works Before, with the query wizard, you kind of selected the information wizard over to the areas that you wanted to query and ran it. So from here, what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to put the information in. So from here, we want to select patient ID. So if we double click, it puts it down into our design grid here at the bottom. Okay? The checkbox here means that it will show when you run your query. You can have information that you run in your query and choose not to show it. So if you didn't want to show it, you would have to uncheck the box. So here, it tells you the specific field and what table it's pulling from. All right, next we're going to select last name. So just double click. We're also going to select first name. We're also going to select city. And we're also going to select email. All right, and then what we're going to do here on our contextual tab ribbon is we're going to select run. So basically you can see that it pulled that information for you. All right, we're going to click Save on the contextual tab ribbon. I'm sorry, on the Quick Access toolbar, and we're going to name this Patient Email. Okay. So if we just go back here, just kind of go review. Basically, again, your design view here gives you the ability to see, here's your table, and then these are the specific fields that you have chosen to be a part of your query, and the checkbox means that that will show in your query. Okay? And then from here, all we did was select run, and that ran it to show us in Datasheet View what we have asked for. Now we're going to look to update data using the patient email query datasheet. So we're going to locate the record 22523. Here, which is Nancy Frazier. In the last name, we're going to change and double click Frazier. So it's highlighted in black, and we're going to change it to Bennett. And then we're going to tab over and change or insert an email address, which is nbennett@example.org. All right, so we're going to close. Now we're going to open up the patient table, and then we're going to find record 21, which is the 22523. 22523, and you can see that it changed it. So previously we were in the patient, we were in the design view. We changed, or in the design view, and then we edited this. So you can see that basically you can change any of your records. They are linked together. All right, so next we're going to look at creating a multiple tab query. So we're going to close this. Again, we're going to select Create. We're going to select Query Design again. And we have our tables. Okay. So from here, we want to add the patient. We're going to add visit, and then we're going to add close. Okay? Again, you still see because of the previous relationship that we had created that these are one-to-many and it's based off the patient ID. Alright, so what we want to do is we're going to add city. So again, you can maximize your window. We're going to add first name. And so you can choose the order that you want these in. So just because they're in a specific order in the tables in your query, you can display them based on however you'd like for them to be. Last name. And then we're going to select visit date. So we're now pulling from a different table. And we're also going to select reason. So basically this is using multiple tables to pull your information from a query. We can do this because they are joined by that one-to-many relationship. Okay? So again, you should have city, first name, last name, And I think I missed visit date, sorry. So, I have it. So visit date and reason. Okay, and I'm going to select one. Okay. Again, you can select your table selector. Double click between the columns to give it the appropriate spacing. So now you can see, because of the relationship, you can take the tables that are joined and pull information from both. So it makes it convenient to do any type of reporting that you need. On our Quick Access toolbar, we're going to select Save. We're going to save this query as patient visit and select OK. All right, so now we're going to look at sorting data in a query. In Figure 310, it talks about sorting results for different data types. So for short text, you can do ascending or descending, and it's again based on A to Z to Z to A. Numbers, you can do from lowest to highest or highest to lowest, date and time, oldest to most recent or most recent to oldest. Currency, again, is lowest to highest numeric value. Auto number, again, lowest to highest or highest to lowest. And then yes and no would be yes if it's text, and then no for if it's not text. All right, so what we want to do here on our patient visits, we're going to sort our information. So we're going to sort the records using the auto filter. Okay, so we're going to click the arrow for city. So right here. So if you see, each of these actually has drop-down arrows. So those are your auto filters. We're going to select the drop-down arrow for city. Again, because this is based off of, so if we select it for a second, and we should be able to sort it based on A to Z, so short text. Okay, so we're going to sort from A to Z, so it puts our information based in order, in alphabetical order. Okay, and you can do the same for the others as well. So if you wanted it based on date, you can do oldest to newest, and then it's based on visit. Now, this type of sort only works based on one set of information at a time, if that makes sense. Okay. Now we're going to look at sorting multiple fields in Design View. So instead of going from Data Sheet View, where we just select based on the drop-down arrows, we're going to go into the Design View. Now, what we're going to do here is for city, you have your field, your table, and then there's a sort option here. If you select that box and you have a drop-down, then we're going to select ascending, and then for visit date, we're going to select descending. So basically, it will sort based on city and then based on the date. Okay? And then we're going to select Run. Okay? So we have Bloomfield. Everything you can see here based on your city is sorted ascending, and your date is descending. All right, I'm going to select Save. Now we're going to look at filtering data. A filter is a set of restrictions you place on records in an open data sheet or form to temporarily isolate a subset of the records. Okay, you can filter by selection, you can filter by form. So, in data sheet, so we're going to query the data sheet, we're going to locate the first occurrence of a city containing the value Windsor. So again, we're still in visit, patient visits, excuse me. We're going to scroll down until we get to Windsor. Okay? So from here, what we are going to do is we're going to filter by selection. So once we have this selected, we are going to, under the home ribbon, we are going to select here under sort and filter. We're going to select the drop-down arrow for selection, and then it gives you options to sort by equals, does not equal, contains, or does not contain. So we're going to select equals Windsor. And what it does is it just takes your information from your query and just pulls the information based on that specific criteria. Okay? So the other information is still there, it just has a filter on it. Okay, so we basically filtered based on the city has to be equal to Windsor. All right, so next we're going to look at reason. So give me 1 second. Now we want to filter our specific reason for annual. So if we go back here under selection, and we want it to begin with annual. So again, so what we need to do is actually highlight the word annual. Okay, so I see. So in step 4, we need to look for the word annual. So here. So basically we just highlighted that word. So from highlighting that word, you notice that we're looking for that. So now we have the option to begins with, does not begin with, contains, so begins with. So from there, you can still do an additional filter based on the information you have if you're looking for more detailed information. So all I did was highlight the word annual, do our selection, and do begins with. All right, so in our sort and filter group here, we're going to toggle filter buttons. And so that basically takes off any of the filters that we have, and now we should see all 85 of our records displayed. So we're going to close. We're going to say no, we don't want to save any changes. And that's the end of tutorial 3.1.